Welcome back, everybody. We will now move into the developments in the gas space. And next, we will hear about the developments or the opportunities of Klaipeda LNG terminal. We have with us Ms. Jurgita Silinskaite-Vensloviene, Head of LNG Commerce from Klaipėdos Nafta. Please, the stage is yours.
Hello, good afternoon to everybody. It is a great pleasure to be here today and to share with you some insights how the gas market will be developing and how LNG terminal can contribute. Thank you once more for this opportunity to be part of this event. So just a few words about Klaipėdos Nafta to remind that we are operating oil terminals, 2 oil terminals in Lithuania. First of them was established in 1959. So the company has quite a long history. And since 2014, we are operating Klaipeda LNG terminal, FSRU-based, a large-scale terminal here in Klaipeda. And from 2017, we are also operating a small-scale reloading station. Another thing what we are very eager to share is that we are not operating only in Lithuania, but our ambition is to act globally. And one of the first physical operations outside Lithuania is in Brazil, in the port of Açu. We are providing the services for LNG terminal operations. And today I will introduce you, first of all, about general performance of Klaipėda LNG terminal. And I will also share with you insights how the regional market, gas market, will be developing. I will also tell you a bit about 2 projects that we are implementing here related to the LNG. And also, it is very important to talk about the decarbonization and how natural gas is contributing or not contributing to the decarbonization. So this will be the content of my presentation. Just to remind as well that in Klaipėda port, the LNG terminal, FSRU-based, is in the middle of a lagoon, which you can see in the map it is shown. And it is connected to the transmission system. That is how it is possible to reach gas in the whole region. And also, additionally, we have a small-scale LNG reloading station, which is in another location, which is onshore, and it is at the entrance of the port. And a few things, as I mentioned, about the LNG terminal. Here in the slides on the left side at the bottom, you can see how the regasification was increasing from year to year. From 2018, from 9 terawatt hours per year up to 22 terawatt hours per year. We are forecasting that this year should be quite similar to the last 2 years in the profile of regasification. In general, in the right side of the slide, you can see the statistics, what was the utilization of European LNG terminals. So you can see that the average utilization of all the European LNG terminals in 2020 was approximately about 45%. Meanwhile, the Klaipėda LNG terminal had utilization of 49%. And in general, all the time, the utilization of the terminal is correlating with the average of the terminals in Europe. And you can see that it also reflects the tendencies of the LNG prices. As the LNG prices become more attractive in the market, then the utilization of all the LNG terminals increases in Europe and vice versa. So this is reflected in this slide as well. And from the perspective of, from technical side, in general, the number of LNG carriers that approached Klaipeda LNG terminal was also increasing from year to year. If last year we had 73 vessels per year, up to today, we have had already 27 vessels as well. So you can see that the terminal is working busily. And the regasification today we have achieved more than 7 terawatt hours in the terminal. And what is interesting probably for you to understand what are the sources of LNG that approach our terminal. And these sources have been changing from year to year significantly. You can see that in 2019, the majority of cargoes to our terminal, more than 81%, arrived from Norway. We had from US, a bit from Russia. In 2020, the number of US cargoes was increasing, and the percentage of cargoes arriving from Norway was a bit decreasing. And this year, up to date, we have quite diverse sources. So you can see that we have majority 59% from United States, some 17% from Russia, 12% we had a cargo from Egypt, and 11% consists from a cargo that arrived from Trinidad and Tobago. So the geography of the cargoes that are reaching our terminal are very diverse, and this shows the possibilities for the market participants to utilize the possibilities to bring the cargoes from wherever it is the most economically beneficial. How does it affect the market here, the gas market? First of all, let's have a look at Lithuania. And for the reference, it is good to have a look at the gas at the calendar year of 2020. So in general, through Klaipeda LNG terminal, you can see, which is marked on the left side of this map, 21.9 terawatt hours were delivered to the whole market. And to the northern direction, meaning to the neighborhood of Latvia, Estonia, and Finland, out of them, approximately, in general, from Lithuania, about 8 terawatt hours were transported to the neighborhood. And meanwhile, approximately only 1.6 terawatt was returned. What does it mean? This means that the neighboring countries have been benefiting and using de facto the Klaipeda LNG terminal, which we are very happy about. And the reverse flows potentially show that there is a huge synergy with the underground storage in Čukalns that not only the Latvian consumers, but also Lithuanian and other countries, the traders are using the opportunities. So in general, if we summarize the year 2020, it ends up in approximately 65 almost % of Lithuanian consumption was imported last year through the LNG terminal, and the rest of it through the pipeline. And of course, you can see in this map that there is a transit also going from Kotlovka to Shakey exit point, which goes to the Kaliningrad area. So that is how the Lithuanian gas market looks like. And also, it is always interesting to have a look at the Baltic exchange results. And you can see here in the coral, in the red color, the prices in the spot market in Lithuania, in the green color in Latvia and Estonia zone, and also in the blue, let's say, color in Finland. So you can see that the prices in Finland have been fluctuating throughout 2020 quite a lot. But what is interesting to observe that the prices are getting closer and closer to the prices that are in Latvia, Estonia, and in Lithuania. And in quite often cases, in quite many cases, the prices were the lowest in Lithuania. Of course, in the periods when the Inčikaļiņas underground storage was utilized, so the prices were switching and that is very exciting to observe these switches in the market. Once we talked a bit about the terminal itself, it is also very important to share with you two projects that we are implementing at Klaipėdos Nafta. Probably you know that we are chartering the FSRU vessel until 2024, and quite often we receive a question, will there be a terminal after our charter agreement will finish? So just to be clear for everybody, for all the market participants, it is important to inform you that Lithuania has made a decision that LNG terminal will be here in Lithuania until 2044. And 2044. And currently the process is going that we are planning to purchase a new vessel, and you can see here in the slide that a public tender will be implemented. So in the end of 2022, it will be clear whether it will be the same vessel or another vessel in place, but for sure there will be a terminal after 2024 as well. And the second project that we are willing to share with you is that Klaipeda LNG terminal is investigating opportunities to go for long-term contracts. What does it mean? This means that we will provide market participants to book the capacities in Klaipeda LNG terminal for, it's not finalized yet, but let's say for 10 years, for 15 years, and maybe for a longer period. Currently, what we are doing, we are performing a study with assistance of AFRY, and we will prepare a model how these long-term capacities could be working in Klaipeda terminal and how the pricing structure could be adapted to this new model. And probably the question is why it is important. And this slide is my favorite. It is busy, but sorry, but it's my favorite one. If you have a look at the right side where the map is, you can see that the Klaipeda LNG terminal capacity is 3.75 BCM. And this is our maximum technological capacity. It's 100%. And meanwhile, GIPL connection, which will be in place in 2022, it will provide approximately opportunities to flow the gas maximum up to 1.9 BCM. And the current capacities that we have interconnections towards Latvia, Estonia, and Finland, it's 2.2 BCM, and in the future it will grow up to 4. So what does it mean? As I mentioned, our Klaipeda LNG terminal, with the current situation, we have reached 49% of utilization. And with the opening new opportunities, there is increasing even more interest. And from a realistic commercial side, probably we will be able to reach something like 70% of our technological capacity, maybe maximum 80, but it will be not 100. So that's why we need to investigate opportunities to how to utilize the terminal that all the market participants would benefit. And on the left side, you can see how the market will be growing. You can see that in Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Finland, the natural gas consumption will be more or less stable or decreasing slightly on a yearly basis up until 2030. And you can see in the red color, in the coral color, that the market in the neighborhood in Poland will be natural gas consumption increasing drastically. That is provided by a gas system, the transmission system operator recently. And one of the most important reasons is that they are switching from coal in the goals of decarbonization to natural gas, of course, renewables as well, but it is not enough to generate the renewable energy only. So in the context of decarbonization, it is important to understand, and probably I would like to finalize my presentation at this slide with a message that despite the fact that the ambition is to have net zero by 2050, in this transition, natural gas by different sources, by different experts, is seen as the one which will be leading this transition up until 2050 and beyond. And here in this slide, you can see that the green color, the natural gas, is seen, which will be supplementing oil, coal, and other energy sources, and will be assisting in the decarbonization together with carbon capture and utilization solutions, etc. So these opportunities are great, and we invite everybody to join Klaipeda LNG infrastructure to investigate opportunities and to use these possibilities. So thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you very much, Jurgita. Very insightful, very good slides, may I add. So very good presentation. Next, we will move further into the gas developments, and we will have a panel moderated by Dr. Timo Partanen from the Finnish Energy Authority. And the topic of the panel is the long and short-term projections of gas trends.